an intro to the intro. However, this time, on this date, which is, I mean, I thought it was cool. I don't know if it was recognized. 8/12. We've got 812 Farms. We've got
shit.
Whoa! Man. 2 double things so far.
we got Joe and Aaron with us, and the two of you are the ownership of 812 Farms. Is that?
Yes, sir. Yeah, Joe and I, we became partners 3 years ago. So yeah, we've been having this will be our 3rd harvest this year.
Now I've been attempting to do some, I don't know, probably half-assed background research, but so you specify 3rd harvest.
Crops.
Crops? Is that what that is? Are you referring to craps?
No, crops.
So
I know harvests.
Is it the first year, what comes out of the ground, is it usable? Is it serviceable? Were you, as soon as it's growing, you're off to the races?
Yeah, so first year hops, they don't, a hop plant needs about 4 to 5 years to reach maximum maturity, right?
Okay.
So the first year, they always call it a virgin harvest. You'll get a handful, on each plant, not enough to make a huge beer, but we did make a couple beers the first year with different breweries. So yeah, I mean, every year we keep getting more. So this year's harvest is already looking to be at least double last year's. And next year we hope it doubles again. So after about 4 or 5 years, they reach a plateau and they can sustain that for up to 20 years.
So it's not so much at that juncture acreage. It's the more mature the plant gets, just by far and away, the more it starts producing.
Absolutely, yeah.
Do you have to rotate different types of hops or crops or anything, though?
That's the most intelligent question I've ever heard you ask anyone ever. This is going to be a good show.
I understand where you're coming from. You guys should feel honored because it's been 3 years. He's been saving something good just for you two.
I had a child book about farming, and then there's something in there, but this is my moment.
You were doing good.
Oh, okay, sorry. I mean,
no, I completely understand. Because regular farm, you're going to plant soybeans for a couple of years and then put corn in there for a couple of years. Well, with hops, they are perennials, so they come back every year. So once we put them in the ground, that's where they're staying until we dig them up and decide to harvest the rhizomes.
They're about a 20-year plant, so it's more of a, after 20 years, then even after that 8 years, you'll crown them and they'll get new growth, and you just keep going like that and then you start cutting them in half, and then you can use them as rhizomes for the smaller stuff as well.
Okay.
So you can always expand your farm from the plants you already have. So the root systems will grow. And all you got to do is cut up, and they call it rhizomes. You cut the roots in little 4-inch sections. That's a brand new plant for you.
Well, and you guys are taking it indoors too, with hydro and aeroponics.
Yeah, aeroponics. That's one of our buddies here. He couldn't be here today, but his name's Todd Nash.
So do we shun Todd now? Is he just not part of the cool kids club?
Yeah,
is he bigger than me?
No.
Well then, God, Todd.
No.
Yeah, but I would bet my bottom dollar that he's tougher than you.
he's pretty street, though. He's wearing a Boondock Saints shirt.
He's street.
I've seen him get angry once. There was a little bit of raised voice.
But yeah, the hydroponics, people have an idea about in some form or fashion, I'm sure. But
Walter.
See? Some people haven't. But exactly. The Etherin, what is that? How does that work?
Okay, so
aeroponics?
Yeah. Just ask aeroponics.
That's just a misting spray that, it sprays all that water and nutrients directly to the plant. It's not actually recessed into water.
Oh, so okay.
Hydro, you're going to use all this water, right?
It's in a tray.
Aeroponics uses a fraction of the water.
Yeah.
So it maximizes the, what do you call that?
But you're
receptiveness of the water. So you don't have to use, if you use 1 gallon of water here, you're going to use a cup of water with aeroponics. I don't know, but that ratio is probably not right, but you get the idea. Right?
Your response time to if you lose power or anything dramatically goes down because
sabotage.
I like that.
So the efficiency is there, but the work level is exponentially harder, which is maybe why it's not. Well, maybe it is common. I don't know anything about.
Yeah, it's pretty common.
Farming hops.
It's pretty common.
It's not common for hops.
It's not common for hops.
It's common
at all,
for cannabis.
Cannabis.
So we're going to kind of utilize some of the same tendencies for that with indoor hydroponics, aeroponics as well.
What?
Nothing. I just assumed as soon as that came up, I was sure it was gonna. That there'd be giggles and like the weed.
No, I'm good. You're making it weird.
Other cousins, so it's more, We're just trying to take
what people already know.
they already know about
its
marijuana
cousin and utilize it.
Utilize it with
hops.
hops. So what happens?
Well, and
Nobody's done it, which is kind of crazy.
we've jumped right into it. I blame myself, but didn't even ask an overview of 812 Farms. You guys are in Columbus, right?
Yes, Columbus, Indiana, on the south side.
And from what I understand, you're looking at doing a fair amount, but your operation is, what you do now and kind of what you're progressing toward. Sounds like you've got some exciting stuff going on that.
We do. We're getting ready to work on our a tap room at the farm because the farm is an old golf course. So there is a big cart shed, which will be where our brewery will be, with the kettles and the fermenters and all that. And then about 100 feet away, there's a big clubhouse, and that's going to be our restaurant and brew pub. But until we can get that open, we have another building on the farm that we're going to use for the tap room. So go ahead and get selling beer and like appetizers, and then use that money and infuse the restaurant and grow it because it needs a little bit of work on that building.
How do you get from farming to tap room to gastro pub kind of thing? You've got food, you've got.
It's always been an idea. We've always, because we were going to turn the barn into a wedding barn, and I don't think we wanted to do a restaurant at the beginning ever.
No, we had no. I mean, I can remember
No
at our
intention.
first hop growers meeting, people would be like, "Oh, you're going to open up a brewery?" And we're like, "No, no, we don't have any desire." But the more that we have met with brewers and hung out at breweries and made beer with them,
It's our scene, man. That's what we like.
yeah, we've had a blast. We've met so many cool people, and we just thought this was a natural progression for us to be able to use our hops. And also, I mean, we know every hop farmer in the state now. When we're all good on a first name basis, so whatever we don't have, they're going to have, because we want our brewery to be only Indiana ingredients.
Well, and I guess that's kind of an interesting question to me. Is so in growing the hops, how much crossover did you guys? How much in-depth knowledge did you guys have to get an actual beer brewing to kind of understand what? Did you actually need to know anything about the brewing process to kind of understand what people wanted, or did you guys just say, "We're growing them, we got them, use them if you feel that they'll work"?
A little bit of both, honestly.
Oh, yeah.
Honestly, a little bit of both.
We're kind of forced into it. They're like, well, you guys want to see where your hops are going? You want to come brew with us? And,
If we have to.
Yeah. And it just.
You find a job you love, you don't have to work a day in your life. That's what I've always heard that, and like
That happens?
it does with a brewer. I mean, it's every time we brew with somebody, it's just it's a awesome day.
Yeah, and it's always fun. The smells, you expand your palate, your smell. When you start smelling malts and all, it just makes everything understand what's going on into the beer and where the flavors are coming from. So I would definitely suggest doing it at your local. I'm sure they'll take you in. Mm-hmm. They're all really nice people.
2/3 of the group typically.
Yeah.
Or went outside.
My favorite question Adam's ever asked on a brewery tour: what's that bubbly stuff?
Water.
What? Like, no, why is it bubbling? Awesome.
I already knew what it was. That was for listen.